Now it's your turn to practice. Let me give you what's 2x squared y to the power of 3 plus 3x to the power of 5 y to the power of 6. What does this become? Press pause and have a go. Here you can't really do it because here this is a different entity from this one. So they're two different things. You can't add the two. It has to be elephant plus elephant. Then you can add. So I'm going to change the question now. What's 2x to the x squared y to the 3 times 3x to the power of 5 y to the power of 6? What is that? So remember, first thing you should be looking at is this. Is it times on add? Okay. So press pause and have a go. Okay. So let's see. Well, when you times, you don't really care. So they're just going to merge together. Everything gets multiplied together. So 2 times 3 is 6, and then x squared times x to the power of 5. That will be x to the power of 7. And then y to the power of 3 times y to the power of 6, so that'd be y to the power of 9. Okay. All right. Next question. What's 3x to the power of 7 y to the power of 9 times 2x to the power of let's say squared, x squared y squared. What does this become? So press pause and have a go. Alright, so immediately you can see it's a time, so it's not a trick question. 3 times 2 is 6, and then the x to the power of 7 times x squared, that will be x to the power of 9. Y times y to the power of 9 times y squared, that will be y to the power of 11. Okay. So my next question, what's 4 x to the power of 9 times y to the power of, 4x to the power of 9 times x to the power of 11. Let's say times 3x to the power of 4. I'm gonna and then z to the power of 3. I'm allowed to do this because this is my LEP, if you like. This is a new entity here, and I'm going to times it with this entity here. I'm allowed to do that. So basically, you've got one entity here times another entity. It's a time, so you don't need to check they're all the same type because we are multiplying. Okay, so when we are multiplying, you don't care. They're just going to merge together to create something new. So what is this new thing here? Alright, I will do this one here. Well, 4 times 3, it would be 12. So let's do that number first. Now x to the power of 9 times x to the power of 4. That would be x to the power of 13. And then y, well, there's no y on the right hand side, so I'm just going to leave the y like this, y to the power of 11. And then z, well, there's no z on the left hand side, so I'm just going to leave it as z to the power of 3. So now this is a new entity. Okay, so if I were to ask you what's 3x to the power of 13 y to the power of 11 z to the power of 3 plus 4x to the power of 13 y to the power of 11 z to the power of 4. What is that? Well, here you got to make, first thing you should be looking at is a plus. So you got to check that this is the same as this, is the same type. Well, it's not, because if you look at this, there's a 4 here. Well, there was a 4 there. Yeah, there's a 4 here, z to the power of 4. This is z to the power of 3. So even though there's a slight difference, that you can't add the two because this is a different entity from this one. So you can't add the two, even though it's only only slightly different. So if it's slightly different, it's still different. So you can't add the two, but you can, however, times the two. So if you times the two, the x merges, the y merges, the z merges to create something new. Okay. So even if someone gives you something like x squared y to the 5, z to the 7, well, this is different from x squared y to the power 4, z to the power 7. Even though these two are the same, you've got a 4 here, you've got a 5 here. So these two are two different entities. Okay, so you can't add these two together. You can, however, times. So, but if someone asks you to add, then you can't add the two.